Hello, welcome to the Creators Guild podcast. I'm Chris Howell, and with me,
Jared Lovelady.
and we are here to talk about all things creative. And for those viewing, you can see I got my arm in a sling because I am now in post-surgery recovery. So, made it through, survived. Jared, how are you doing after your back stuff?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't have to wear a sling.
Yeah. Yep, I get to be in this for the next 6 weeks. So that's fun. Well, I guess 5 weeks now. It's been I'm a week out of surgery. Still on pain meds. Still sitting here trying to keep my arm still. It's fun.
Good times.
Yeah. Yeah, super exciting. Jared has been sitting next to me. We've been actually doing some editing. By editing, we get to do Jared gets to type for both of us because I just have one hand that I can be like dink, donk, donk, dink. That doesn't work very well. um, but we're almost there, right?
Yeah.
So we're still trucking forward. So today I am Jared. I started to say Jared has been sitting beside me, and with my arm in a sling and with stuff going on, I can't shower very much. I'm trying to get better at it, but I have to go a few days between because I can't shower very well by myself. I got to put a special sling on and everything like that. So he gets to experience the funk. So that's an exciting part of post-surgery recovery that you get to experience. Well, today it's not going to be a very long episode, but we did want to get something out. Wanted to talk a little bit. And one of the things that came up recently, we actually have a friend. He was on. We met him at Tremendicon. He does swords. If you Middleborn Middleborn Arms, I think is the it's middle B-O, all one word, Middle-Bourne.
Yeah. Middleborn Arms.
Okay, so yeah, Middleborn Arms. We have some discussions, random things. And one of the discussion topics that came up was, should movies today or go back to using stop animation instead of CGI?
Practical effects, you mean?
Yeah. Well, not just practical effects, but the specific thing he brought up. So practical effects a little bit different, but the specific topic that was being discussed was the stop motion versus CGI. So, like they didn't with Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic Park, the dinosaur wasn't CGI. Like they made the dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they went in and did like video cleanup and touch up and filters and all kinds of stuff like that to make it look better. And then you get into different movies where they build full scale models of different things. But you go back to the 70s and we were just looking at like the old Sinbad movies and Sinbad fighting a giant cyclops. And it's the giant cyclops that's all stop animation. It's all like claymation stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the video of the claymation stuff, because it's small, is superimposed over the people, to make it look like they're to scale. And then you have things like Sinbad fighting the skeletons, where the skeletons pop up out of the ground and it's all stop animation stuff. And there's just a feel to that it's a very different feel than CGI. So my question, or one of the questions I have, is how different if you see something and it's obvious CGI, versus you see something that's stop animation and it's stop, you can tell it's stop animation.
Mm.
Which one is actually better from a viewer experience perspective? CGI that is clearly like that's clearly CGI
Yeah.
versus why not just do stop animation? I mean, I know from a cost and a time perspective which one you should probably go with. Um, but then again, like to get into developing CGI, there's a lot that goes into the artists and the people involved, and then hours that they have to spend putting the CGI in.
Yeah.
I don't know comparatively what the difference is from a cost and a time perspective to do
I,
the stop animation.
I would think that now that so much of the software has been developed, that CGI is going to be the more economical
Yeah.
choice. Maybe not in the beginning, or if they're trying to come up with something new, but for just your run of the mill stuff, I would think CGI, because there's off the shelf type software now.
Yeah. That you can do on your home computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the question comes back to, what do you think? So I'll ask you, Jared, your thoughts. If you're watching a movie, would you rather see something that has like the stop animation like we just looked at, Sinbad fighting the Cyclops,
Mm-hmm.
where it's this big monster that's reaching in and grabbing the Sinbad's crew and ripping them out of the cave. It's all stop animation. Is that better or worse than if they did a CGI Cyclops and it's obviously blatantly CGI?
I would rather see stop animation.
Yeah.
If it's going to be bad either way, I'd rather see the stop animation.
Yeah, that's my feel. That's my opinion. Like I can get on board with like, okay, well, let's go one step further. Not even stop animation, but what about go back to the old Godzilla show things where it's
A guy in a rubber
a
suit.
guy in a rubber suit smashing into fake buildings with crazy explosions and stuff. Is that better than poorly done CGI?
It has a different feel to it. It has a tangible feel,
Yeah.
even though it's
Yeah, even though it's janky, the jankiness makes it endearing. Janky CGI is not endearing. Stop animation, even poorly done stop animation or poorly done somebody in a suit, different things like that, in my opinion, practical effects, whether it's stop animation, a person in a suit, so like the original Alien movie, there's a guy in a suit. So, it's people in suits. And then they modified and made, and then of course over time, now Alien, they've made modifications. But when Alien 3 came out and they used a CGI alien running through, a lot of people didn't like it. It got really, really poor. So there's Alien and then Aliens and then Alien 3, where Sigourney Weaver, her character, she crashes onto the prison planet and has the alien with her. Well, they get into that planet and like the alien was CGI, but it's clearly CGI. You can tell that it's CGI, a CGI creature running through the hallways and through the tunnels and stuff. So people didn't like that. And even today, it's still a complaint when you watch the series. You're like, they shouldn't have tried to go with CGI at that time with the alien in Alien 3. They should have just they should have gone with the practical effects like they did with the other movies, stuck with what worked. Another example of that, Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Like we complained about this as soon as it came out, where they had the CGI Yoda,
Yeah.
and we're like, what is this crap?
Yeah. And they only did that in what, one movie?
Yeah.
And they went back to a practical puppet.
And then the practical puppet didn't look the same. It didn't look as good.
No.
And the reason it didn't look as good is they said, and this, they said they needed to make Yoda look younger. And I was like,
He's 900 years
Yeah.
old. What's 20 years gonna matter?
exactly. Like, how do you make someone look? That would be like me saying, I'm 46 years old. I'm going to go in and have facial work done. I'm going to say, well, how old do you want to look? 43.
Not
What?
even that.
Yeah, not
Like
that's a bigger
2 months
percent.
ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, 90 years would be 10%.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It would be like, it would be a few months. If I take in a picture of me a few months ago and go, I want to look like this guy, make me look like him, that's relative. Like, it never made sense. So sometimes the Yoda was a Muppet. Or would it be a Muppet or a puppet? It would be a Muppet.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
because they were.
Because
Yeah.
puppets are on strings, right? That's the difference between a Muppet and a puppet.
No, Muppet is a term that Jim Henson came up with, and
But I didn't know.
I don't know I don't know the exact particulars. I guess I could look it up.
So maybe that's a brand name, like Kleenex. we'll just say it's like Kleenex. And are the people that work on Jim Henson sets, are they Muppeteers or puppeteers? Is there a distinction there? I don't know.
Muppets are a trademark brand associated with Jim Henson Company.
Okay. So now that I know that, I should just refer to anything that's not anything generically is a puppet. Kermit the Frog is a puppet. But brand wise,
He's a Muppet.
he's a Muppet. Interesting.
Going back to Star Wars though, and stop animation.
Yeah.
ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. It's stop motion is what it.
Yeah.
It's not, and
Yeah, stop motion. Yeah.
when they were filming Empire Strikes Back, they came up with what they call go motion, which blurs between frames to give it a more realistic feel.
Is that how they did like the forest scene flying through Endor?
Well, like the walkers,
Mm-hmm.
if you look real close, you can tell they're stop animation, but
Yeah.
they look pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And that's how they created that effect.
Interesting. So stop animation, go animation. In any of these cases, the term for all of it is practical effects versus CGI.
Yeah.
I know we were specifically kind of talking about the stop motion of like Sinbad, stuff like that. But in most cases, I'm trying to think back through different movies. We talked about Aliens, there's the Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter movie, in the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Mm-hmm.
When Harry, Hermione, and Ron find the troll, the cave troll,
Yeah.
is in the bathroom. Like the CGI on that, at the time, you could tell it was CGI. Now looking, you're like, that's not very good CGI.
No, but at the time it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But even at the time, I remember thinking, why did they do a CGI troll? Why didn't they have the budget
To do the practical effects.
Yeah, put the practical effects in the movie, so it feels more real in some way, even if it's the practical effects, whether it's stop motion or something else, even if it's off, it's a good off compared to CGI being off.
An excellent example of practical effects being used in a modern movie is Zathura. Have you seen it?
The what?
Zathura?
Yeah.
That's all practical effects.
Like the lizard guys and the
Everything.
they do it all practical effects.
I mean, they might have added like tongues or something to the lizard guys, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Are there? I'm trying to think of more. I haven't looked into it enough to know. With recent movies, modern movies, what's the ratio of CGI versus practical effects that are in use?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, like Tom Cruise. Maybe the best is when you integrate with both.
Yeah.
Like, do this if you have to use stop motion, use the stop motion overlaid with CGI to help the flow. It's that there's a lot of movies that use pure CGI that it just looks like pure CGI. And I don't know, it feels cheap to me.
It feels
Fake.
Yeah. In even animation, like when they overlay traditional animation in, it feels more real than bad CGI.
Yeah. Yeah. Who Framed Roger Rabbit
Yeah.
is more real than Yoda in Star Wars, than CGI Yoda in Star Wars. Yeah, so I'm curious what other people's perspectives are on that, but I think CGI is a neat tool that's available. It makes it so you can do all kinds of cool stuff. But a lot of it is not done well.
Yeah. It's done hurried or on a budget or
The other piece of it is, and part of this is with any movie, there are pieces that are added that are not realistic. But they're not realistic. CGI lets you take it to the next level. Some of it is the non-realistic characteristics of the world or the whatever's been created. So Ant-Man. In Ant-Man, the Pym particles, they specifically say that the Pym particles just reduce the space that is between matter. So all of the matter is still there. And then he pulls out his keychain and has a tank, his keychain. And I'm like, and Abrams is like 75 tons.
Yeah.
So you can't put that on a keychain. And then when Ant-Man, when he becomes super large, is giant, I don't know, 50 feet tall, and there's a big airplane right there, and he kicks the side of the airplane.
It would still be 200 pounds kicking the airplane.
Yeah. But now it's 200 pounds, and his kicking force with the 200 pounds distributed over the size of his foot. Like, it wouldn't even dent the plane.
No.
It wouldn't do anything to that plane. Plus, I'm like, his weight, he wasn't, with his suit on and everything, he was probably 185 pounds. Like, maybe. What's his name? Scott, the actor that played
Ant-Man?
Yeah, that played Ant-Man.
That was
gosh dang it.
I know his name.
Can't think of his name. Jeez, a Pete. Anyway. Can't think of his name at the moment. But if you find it here in a second, that actor, on a heavy, out of shape day.
Paul Rudd.
So Paul Rudd probably weighs 175 pounds. With his suit on as Ant-Man, 180 pounds. 185. So 185 pounds that is suddenly enlarged with human proportions to 20 feet tall. If it was windy,
Yeah.
if it was windy that day, he wouldn't be able to stand up. It would have blown him over. So there's a lot of stuff that's realism, unrealistic, and they do it all the time in movies. It's just with CGI, that's not specific to Ant-Man because it wasn't a CGI tank on a keychain. They just had a little tank on a keychain. Okay. They didn't have to CGI that in. But there are a lot of things like that CGI now makes it possible for things that are even more unrealistic and outlandish and crazy to just exist. It's I think it was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I'm trying to remember when in a movie. No, Jim Carrey, The Mask. In The Mask, when he like pulls out a gun and it's like and becomes like this giant thing, like you don't even have enough hands
Yeah.
to hold and to pull all the triggers. And then he pulls the trigger and it's like they're all fake, and one of them is like bang, everything's like it's all just random cartoony goofy stuff. Like, well, that was his whole character, was everything was like that. Cartoonish, outlandish, ridiculous. CGI now makes it so that things that are supposed to be serious or supposed to have a serious underlying premise to them are now cartoonish, outlandish, and non-serious. And it isn't that it has never been that way. It's just now it's more that way. And previously, when it used to, it was still that way. It's been that way forever. But the practical effects make it not necessarily more believable, in my opinion, but a little more real, I think.
Yeah, it has a weight to it, if that's the right word. I don't know.
Yeah, there's something. It's visceral.
There's a tangibility to it.
Yeah, tangible is the right word. And I think we've gotten away from. I wish movies would pull me in more if when we get those instances of marrying practical effects with CGI. I was gonna say the new one of the, not the last, but one of the new Mission Impossible movies where Tom Cruise rides the motorcycle and ramps off the cliff. Like, they found an actual cliff and then they extended the cliff out with a ramp and everything. So he's got this metal ramp and he drives down a road and he ramps off of this ramp and then falls and pulls his parachute and stuff. He actually drove the motorcycle and ramped off the cliff. And they had to film it, And then they went back and said, well, we're going to turn this metal ramp that we built so that he could drive his motorcycle off. We're going to overlay that with CGI to make the whole thing a cliff. I'm like, hey, that works. You took practical application and then overlaid it with CGI to make it functional and smooth and a cool experience of him flying off this cliff. So if you can do that, in my opinion, do the stop motion and then overlay the stop or the go motion and then overlay it with CGI to fill in the gaps and do some CGI, like CGI backgrounds. You can go, where did they film Lord of the Rings? Is it
New Zealand?
New Zealand. You can go film stuff in New Zealand, but you can't really film all of it. Well, I mean, even I was gonna say, shoot, what is it with the replicants? Um,
The replicants.
I'm on pain meds. I'm on drugs. Harrison Ford,
Yeah.
um,
Is it Blade Runner?
Blade Runner. Yeah. So when they did the movie Blade Runner, they did a lot of overlays and film overlays and stuff like that. Well, you could go in with CGI and with cleanup tools and improve the visual quality of that. But they did a really good job of making this world, this uh, post, whatever it would be, post, I don't remember what the name for that is. I can't remember anything at the moment. This is a show of me not remembering things. But you have this world where they built, some of it was done, to the filming afterward. They shot things on small scale and overlaid it. They did a bunch of different effects, made a bunch of different ways of overlaying things to create the effect that they wanted and they needed. Like with old filming processes, you get some graininess, you get some stuff where it's not really the same, it's not on the same layer anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that. Like, well, now with CGI, you can go in and clean those things up and make them look cool. Lord of the Rings, where they actually built a scale model of Helm's Deep and, did filming and stuff with that, and then used effects to bring it all up to the scale that you needed for the movie. Bunch of different things that they did. But then you have like the warg riders, and you have all the wargs that come around, and I'm like, yeah, they all look like CGI, and they stand out as CGI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you would have done it differently in this particular case. That would have been difficult, but hey, come on, Peter Jackson, you got the money in front of you. So spend the money, clone with make some genetically altered dogs so you can get these wargs for your movie. And then you got it done. Just spend the money. Don't tell anybody. You're doing it in New Zealand. Out in the hills in New Zealand, just do it out there. Don't tell anybody. Perfect effects for the movie. Just genetically modify dogs to get what you need. Or yeah. Anyway, going down the crazy road there. So yeah, I think we pretty much agree then.
Yeah, we do. Our listeners may not, but
yeah, I'm really curious what other people think. But yeah, my opinion definitely. If I have to rank, I'm like stop motion. Maybe go motion would be the best. Go motion followed by stop motion, and then bad CGI last.
yeah,
I'm like really, really, really good CGI. Really good CGI. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's just go with that CGI. That's really good. But a lot of it, I'm like, do whether it's stop motion, go motion, somebody in a suit, overlay, scale models and everything, and then use CGI to fill in all the gaps and help create the scenes. That's the best, I think. But even movies today where you see movies that you're like, here's how this whole scene was filmed, and it's all of the characters in green suits surrounded by green screens, and you're like, wait, the whole thing is CGI. And while watching it, like there were a couple scenes like that where I saw the filming of the Marvel movies. Like the characters weren't in suits. They were all in just green. They weren't in their superhero suits, They were just in green outfit, the green bodysuits.
Yeah.
With sensors on them. And then everything around them was just green. And then like watching the movie, I've had the feel, I was like, everything feels fake. Their suits feel fake. What they're doing feels fake. Everything feels fake. And then I watched a scene of that filming, and I'm like, well, that's why. It all felt fake because all of it was fake. You had people pretending to be other people in an entire environment where none of it existed. Not even the hair on their heads existed where in the environment in which they were filming. All of it was put in after the fact, and it was all fake. To me, watching those movies, a lot of times I'm like, it feels fake. So I'm like, okay, well.
I can think of one movie where it works, and it works because of the way it was done. That's Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Yeah, but it was that was intentionally done that way.
Yeah, it's a very comic booky feel.
Yeah, I'm like, if you're going to go that route, you have the flexibility now within those parameters. Okay, this is the feel you're going for, so run with it. Go wild. But when you're trying to make this world, like, well, we need a chair over here. We'll CGI it in. Just put a chair. Just put a chair right there. Does it take more from a set perspective? Yep. But it makes a difference to me. Maybe at some point it won't. Like, it might get to the point where graphics and everything are so good that the fake feel goes away completely. But it's not there yet. It's not there in any movie I've seen so far.
No.
So, from that perspective, I prefer give me the practical effects. I'd rather have the practical effects. And if I have to choose between the practical effects or CGI, I'll stick with the practical effects. So I'm like, at least it's real fake and not fake. Okay. Well, that's our opinion for today. I think I'm going to go take some pain meds.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Jared, thanks for the convo.
Yep.
For you listening, we appreciate you being here with us. We will see you back again. I'll probably be in a sling. Well, I'll still be in a sling. So, till next time. Thanks for listening to the Creators Guild podcast. Don't forget to get your copy of A Flight from Shadows, available on Amazon. While you're there, please rate it and give it a review. If you like the Creators Guild, please like and subscribe, and make sure to share it with your friends. Until next time, go in good spirits.